Leaders are like eagles. They don't flock. You find them one at a time. This one's for the lonely light workers. For all you out there who want to make a difference in this world, who've gone through a spiritual awakening and want to share it with people, but it doesn't seem like anybody hears you. It seems like you're screaming and no one can hear you. You're shouting out to the world, to the heavens. You're shouting out. But no one's listening. No one can hear you. No one will take you seriously. This one's for you. I have no idea what I'm about to say, but this one's for you. You know, I think it's very difficult to go through a spiritual awakening and feel alone, and that's what actually got me making these videos in the first place, because I felt so isolated. Felt like everything in my life was falling apart. You know, my identity was falling apart. That's the dark night of the soul. You know, when your current life circumstances don't match up with your internal world anymore. You know, it's like there's a disconnect between your old life and the life that you're creating for yourself in this now moment. It's like you're caught in between two worlds. You may feel like you're living a double life and nobody understands you. And this is perfectly normal. So if you're in this stage, you're probably doing something right. You know, it's been one of the most difficult journeys of my life, you know, stepping into a new identity and making YouTube videos and about a spiritual awakening. You know, this is such a weird thing for my old self to be doing. You know, if you would have told me I'd be doing this 3-4 years ago, I would have thought you were crazy. I would be like, meditation? Crystals? What's a light worker? What is a star seed? What have I become? Did I lose my mind? Yeah, I did lose my mind, but I found my soul, which is me, which is the real me. And I let go of all the programming, and I became aware of the programming. And you might be in that stage where you haven't let go of the programming, but you've at least become aware of it, and it takes awareness to be able to let things go. And so I want to encourage you to do what excites you in this moment. Do the things that you feel called to do and follow your intuition, and you will make a difference in this world like you want to, because you're a light worker. You're spreading light. You are shining this energy amongst other people without even knowing it sometimes, and you have a certain different energy about you now that you've gone through a spiritual awakening. And you know, don't be afraid to be different. Be afraid of being the same. Don't be scared to be different. Be scared of being the same. Don't be scared to be different. Be scared of being the same. And let that sink in. Because to hide your uniqueness is to rob the world from your gifts. To rob yourself from even experiencing what you came here to actually do, because your uniqueness is what brings something different to this world. It's what adds value to other people. It adds value to this planet as a whole, and to blend in and be exactly like everyone else is actually doing yourself and others a disservice. You're robbing them of knowing the real you, and you're robbing them of knowing, you know, you're robbing everybody of your uniqueness and your gifts. And that's probably the worst thing you can do, but I know it's so hard when, you know, depending on what background you come from, it could be really weird, you know, to some people, the things that you might be into now, or the things that you want to do are so different, or you want to leave your job, or leave school, or leave whatever situation has been bogging you down. You want to get out of that, and other people don't see your vision, so they don't see your vision, so they don't really support you. And the harsh reality is, a lot of people, we're just not going to be supported until we do it. Nobody can really see what you're creating until you actually do it, and then they ask you how you did it. But don't worry about external validation. You don't need that. The only validation you need is from within. Everything starts from within. So stop seeking approval from others, as hard as it might be. Stop trying to change people and make them awaken, because I know that's a thing that happens. I know it's something I did. Stop trying to hold on to your old life and things that are starting to fall away. I know I did that. I know it's very difficult to let things go. But the more you hold on to that old reality, the more suffering you're going to bring upon yourself. And that's why this dark night of the soul is here. That's why you feel lonely and disconnected. But know that the loneliness will bring strength. It will bring peace. It will bring courage. It takes a lot of courage to be alone and do things alone. And it will also bring other people. You don't have to be alone forever. When you learn how to be happy alone, then everyone wants to be with you. And that's the crazy paradox about all of this. Doing what we think is going to bring us something is actually deterring it. And doing the opposite is actually what's going to bring it. And that's something that it's taken me a little while to get. And it's taken me a while to learn all this stuff. So don't be too hard on yourself, and don't worry about, gathering all this knowledge. It's great. It's great to learn things. It's great to watch videos and read books about spirituality and gather knowledge and information, become more aware of the things you're going through, and it will help you get through these times of loneliness. But realize that all you ever really need is to be present, to be here now, and to stop worrying about this future and maybe even your now moment. You don't like your now moment, right? You're like, I'm not worried about the past or future. I just hate where I am right now. But as you change your internal world, your external world will change. It just takes a little bit of time in this 3D reality that we're in for things to manifest into our lives. So it's hard for us to see something that's happened already in the spiritual realm in an instant manifest in our life in an instant. Sometimes it takes a little bit, and we don't even realize that we're already on that path. It's just like it takes a little bit of time. So at the very least, I hope this just at least encourages you to keep going and know that the loneliness is very normal. It's part of the process. It's just something we all have to go through. And keep being your own best friend. Keep, doing the things that you want to do. You don't have to adhere to anybody else. You don't have to do what somebody else wants you to do when you're alone. There are a lot of perks to being alone, and it's a very important part of the spiritual awakening process. And look at this lovely bird. Oh, you can't see it because my camera won't go up, but there's a nice bird flying over all alone. It's all alone. And, leaders are like eagles. They don't flock. You find them one at a time. So be that eagle. Go your own way. March to the beat of your own drum. And you will find other people to join into your band that complement you and are at the same frequency as you, because you don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. So just keep being you. Don't hide your light. Share your light with whoever's willing to listen, and whoever isn't willing to listen or just doesn't get you, screw them, man. And not trying to be hateful, but seriously, man, just don't worry about them. Love them, but let them go. You know, I'm really feeling it today. I love you all, and I know you're going to do exactly what you came here to do. Stop worrying so much. You're doing just fine. You're doing amazing. You're doing way better than you probably think. It just takes a little bit of time. But you've discovered something that most people probably never will. At least right now, at the state of this planet. But yeah, this has been a video from Universal Crystals, aka Eli. I love you all. Universal Crystals forever.